Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In this video, we have another return client. She I think she had the set for about 3.5 weeks. Her video was the glam nude, like baby boomer with the pixie video. I'll link it in the cards and maybe down below so you can check it out. It came out pretty good. So when she came in, she was missing 2 nails. She does a lot of heavy lifting for work and admitted that the nails actually broke maybe 2 or 3 days before she came back for her fill and redesign. So they lasted pretty good. Every other nail was doing well. As you can see, I've already prepped the natural nail. I pushed back her cuticles, used a diamond bit and sanding band to prep the nail and applied my primers. Now I'm going in with a thin layer of the Young Nails clear, Core Clear, and all of this is after having removed her previous set. I have a video on how I like to remove sets. I will link that in the cards for you to check out. So any return client that I normally have goes through this process if they want a redesign, not a refill. So yeah, I'm just going in. I'm using the Young Nails monomer and a new panna brush actually that I'm trying out to see if I like it. It's not as crimped as I would like, but it's pretty nice. It did shed for like the first few times that I use it, like really badly, but the shedding seems to have stopped, which is kind of nice. So for this set, she said she just wanted brown and nudes and like real abstract stuff. So I was like, okay. She sent me some reference photos. We were sitting there together figuring out what we're gonna do on each nail, and I think it came out kind of great. So the base color for her set is from Sugar and Cream. This is called Milk Chocolate, and this color just looks so amazing against her skin tone. I'm so happy that I've been building up my nude. I said this to her, that I was so happy that I was building up my nude brownie collections from a brown skin girls, because you gotta have the variety, you know? So this is Milk Chocolate from Sugar and Cream. It's a color that I've had for a while now. Maybe one of the first colors I ever purchased from this brand. And I'm applying a full solid nail to the pinky. It will change towards the end. We did like the nude, the brown, but she said she wanted a little bit more of the dark chocolate brown. So I end up doing an ombre on this nail, but for the most part, we're just starting off with a solid nail of this milk chocolate color. It's really creamy and soft, and yeah, it looked so good against her skin tone. So next I'm moving on to her pointer finger. I know I was holding her ring, but I switched my mind. There you go. And we're going to be doing a cut French on this finger. So the base color of this set is this Milk Chocolate from Sugar and Cream. I am just applying a halfway bead to the nail and I'm just pushing it downwards. I will be cutting out a French on this set, not with an X-Acto knife or anything like that. I like to use an X-Acto blade. I like to use an extendo nail tip. So those really thick, super duper long stiletto plasticky nail tips that were causing like a little bit of controversy on the internet a few months ago. I like to use those just because I have so many of them around and they're pretty stiff, and you know the edges are, you know, sturdy and slightly sharp. So as you can see, I place it and kind of rock it over the direction that I want, you see, and then I slide off the excess acrylic. This is how I do it, you know. It's pretty DIY, but it gets the job done. You do not have to spend money on an X-Acto blade or like a super fancy French cutter. Just, you know, get it done. I've seen people do it with I can do it with my brush. I've seen people use like floss, a card, Metro card, things like that. So yeah, I'm just applying a cuticle bead to kind of finish this off, and then I'll add one more bead just to make sure it is raised just a little bit, because when I add that other color to that French area, I don't want it to kind of pool over. So now for the fun stuff, I am going in and we are bringing in all the colors. So I had a crap ton of chocolatey, nice browns and nudes and light browns. It was really gorgeous. I am working on this color, actually is one in a recent haul video from Sugar and Cream. It is called Old Terracotta, and it is a deep kind of red yellowish toned brown. I'm using Nutella from Sugar and Cream, which is a chocolatey muted brown. I believe I have a haul video with that as well. I'm gonna link everything in the cards. Just check out the cards to see what I'm talking about here. I'm using Creme de la Creme, Lust from Sugar and Cream, and the milk chocolate. So as you can see, I'm just swirling all of these nice brown colors together, and I'm marbling in a different way here. I am placing tiny super wet beads of all of the colors and then swirling. I just felt that because the colors I'm using were particularly dark, I didn't want to pick up two beads and potentially have them mixing before swirling. I might have lost the lighter colors, and I just found that this kind of helped me to control how much of each color I used. So if I wanted mostly those lighter colors, as you can see, I didn't put too much brown, and you can still see that lighter color. So there's no wrong way to marble, there's no right way to marble, you just do what feels good. I would just say one tip in terms of marbling is to use a very, very light touch. If you press really hard into your brush, your bristles will just kind of wipe things away that you kind of want to keep. So use an extremely, extremely light hand, and sometimes a wetter brush kind of helps with the marble as well. So I'm going in really quickly with my nail file. We're going to be doing the same marble in this French area, and I'm just going in and trying to clean up any super excess of that milk chocolate acrylic that we have in that French area. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start by that sidewall area, dropping wet beads and then swirling in a very, very tiny space up there, nothing crazy. We are gonna add some gold foil that you see I have on the table, so I wasn't really worried about that tight corner, but basically you see I'm using really tiny beads because I don't want the dark brown to kind of take over this, extremely tiny French area, and making sure to clean up, which is why I built up that milk chocolate color in the first place, just so that we don't spill over. In hindsight, it doesn't really matter because we cover that French cut with foil anyway, but as you can see, I'm using the tiniest beads and I'm still able to maintain the lighter colors, even with those two darker colors that I'm using at the same time. So with a wet brush, I'm not adding any real acrylic or anything. With the same monomer on my brush, I'm just picking up tiny pieces of gold foil that I have already pre-shredded on my table. This is like actual gold foil, the ones with the aluminum foil texture. I just think that sometimes the textured foil is really great. Sometimes the non-textured, like super shiny tinsel foil is great. I just felt like the texture kind of added to this nice chocolatey vibe. So yeah, I'm just applying that with no monomer, no acrylic or anything like that, just to the French cut line of the nail. And if you can see, I'm mostly covering the nude side because I don't want to kind of cover up the gorgeous marbling that I did a little bit earlier. So most of the foil is going onto the nude section, and then little tiny pieces on both sides, just to give it like a little bit of variation. I am making her thumb a full solid nail of this gorgeous milk chocolate color, so just giving it a nice smooth application and making sure to avoid flooding her sidewalls and cuticle area. So this nail is kind of fun. If you are staring at the nail wondering why I have not applied the acrylic everywhere, it's because I'm doing a French cut down the center of the nail. As you can see, I'm just sliding that same extendo tip down the center of the nail and then using the sharp edge to kind of scrape off the excess acrylic, and there you go. That's how you get a good, French cut line. It's what I do, mostly out of laziness, but I think it works really well anyway. So yeah, we just want half the nail to be this nude color, and then we're going to use the same colors to marble on the other side, the same type of chocolatey marble that we did on the other two nails. And if there's marble, there is gold foil. As you can see, I am being careful to place the gold foil mostly on the brown side. I don't want to cover up the marbling that we did so much. So one thing I will say is that I marbled with the cuticle bead in that lighter color. And in the end of the video, even when I was done with the set, I was saying, the marble came out really nice, but I think it would be better to put the more darker or pigmented colors towards the cuticle, because since it's such a lighter color, kind of like her natural nail plate color, it looks like the nail has grown out, or maybe I didn't apply any acrylic in that area, but it's just because I used a lighter color. So if that's something I could fix, I would definitely swap the colors and put like a darker color in the cuticle area. But honestly, check out that marble on that ring finger. It's really, really beautiful, like just chocolatey lusciousness. So on the pinky, like I said in the beginning of the video, we just felt like we wanted to bring in more of that chocolatey brown color. So I'm going in with the darkest color that I'm working with today. This is Nutella from Sugar and Cream. It's a super popular color, really, really rich, cool toned brown, nice and chocolatey, just like Nutella. And I am applying it to the tip of the nail because I'm going to be doing an ombre with that same milk chocolate color. So milk chocolate is significantly lighter than Nutella, and I am going to be placing, I guess, more drier beads over that ridge of Nutella just so that we get a little bit more coverage, and then just adding more cuticle beads to cover the rest of the nail. And now it's time to clear cap all of the nails. I'm using the Young Nails Core Clear to just make sure that I'm encapsulating all of the gorgeous art that I did and securing the dark pigments just to make sure we lock everything in and give the nail an additional source of structure and strength to the nail, building up the apex where I need to, just giving it more, you know, some zhuzh and protecting my design. Now I am going in with a medium grit hand file and I am pre-filing. The surface of the nails are fairly smooth, but this is just to maintain that shape. As you can see, I like to do that perpendicular up and down on the free edge with my hand file, but I always make sure that marble is really pretty. I always make sure to squeeze the finger as tight as I can just to avoid the client's fingers wobbling. It is very uncomfortable when that happens. I do it to myself and it's not pleasant, so I always squeeze a little bit and kind of keep my pinky on the the bottom edge of the file just to, you know, brace it so it doesn't wobble. But I always find that that helps to give me a nice crisp flat shape if I'm doing like a flat coffin or a tapered square or anything like that. So that's what I'm doing here, just pre-filing, making sure that the shape is what I want, and then getting rid of any extra acrylic that might be on the underside of the nails as well. Going in with my 5-in-1 carbide bit to debulk, push my apex to where I need it to be to clean the sidewalls and the cuticle area, and to smooth out the surface of the nail to avoid any lumps and bumps, smooth out any potential scratches, anything like that. So I'm using the Melody Susie Scamander e-file. It's a rechargeable cordless version. I usually just keep it corded up anyway, but I like to use this e-file at about 9 to 10,000 RPM when doing this step. It's fast enough to remove product, but not fast enough to skip or to, you know, get out of control or remove too much product, because that's definitely not what I want to do, like I'm doing a removal. And as you can see, because this is a tapered safety bit, I can get really tight into those sidewalls and cuticle area, just like that. I usually go from right to left just because I'm right-handed, but yeah, I try to get in as close as I can, and because it's a safety, as you can see, I can get all the way in there. I'm not hurting the client or anything like that. Just be cautious. Just because something is a safety doesn't mean that you can't still give them like friction burn. It's kind of painful. Basically, the e-file might be too fast, and even if it's a safety, it won't cut the skin, but it will cause like a rug burn sensation, like a really hot sting. So just be careful with that. So yeah, I keep my e-file about 9 or 10, max 11,000 RPM for this step, and my main focus is to run the file over the length of the nail. That's me going down for any lumps and bumps around the free edge. There was just a little excess of acrylic, so you can see I'm spending a little bit of time there. Just to debulk there. I'll slide my thumb down the nail to kind of feel if it, you know, feels smooth and straight, and then going around from the right to the left, getting that bit into the cuticle area and the sidewall, and then debulking around the cuticle area just to make sure I push that apex where I want majority of the product to be moving towards the free edge, not towards the epinicium. I don't know how many times I can say, look at that marble nail, but that ring finger is really beautiful. Yep, I buffed her nails really quickly just to make sure they were really smooth, and then I'm spraying her fingers with alcohol and using a manicure brush to get rid of any potential oils, debris, dust that might be left over from the filing. So we are going in with a white iGel Beauty painting gel and a thin liner brush, and I'm going to be drawing an abstract female face on this nail. So we had a few references, and it was really funny. This design I actually drew first on the other hand, got it done in one try, it came out really great, but then we saw other abstract faces, and we, you know, played around with the idea of doing two different faces. I can't tell you how many times I drew the face on the second hand. It was so complicated, and it was funny because I had, you know, gotten it done so quickly on the other hand, but we ended up doing exactly the same face because none of the other ones kind of, you know, did it for us the same as this one. So yep, nothing crazy. The great thing about doing these abstract line face, you know, single line art things, I know mine is not single line, clearly I'm drawing like 1,000 lines, but what's great about it is that it's abstract. It doesn't need to be perfect. You don't have to be a Picasso type artist to kind of figure this out, and the more, you know, thin and thick the lines are, the more kind of organic it looks. I think it came out pretty good. So I made the lips of the face a little bit thicker, and she loved that. You know, black girl magic. So yeah, I'm just freestyling this for the most part, just looking at the reference photo on the phone and just kind of replicating it, but not taking it too seriously, where it has to be like perfect. I think it came out really good. And I did make a little boo-boo, kind of by where the nose area, so I just took my brush out of the cleaning solution. It's like acetone and a little bit of monomer, and as you can see, I'm just using the very tip of the brush to kind of clean away, I guess, the nose line that wasn't supposed to be there. So I was telling her that I would have loved for this to be a matte set, but she's a glossy girl, so I'm going in with a glossy top coat, applying it to all of her nails, making sure to clean the sidewalls and free edge, and then having her cure for a full 60 seconds. And check out the face. Things look really, really good. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so proud of this set. It came out lovely and she was really happy, which is like the most exciting thing. I hope you like it. Like if you do, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. That marble is gorgeous. Bye.